Leo, 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 sayer. Are you still pulling an all-dayer? It's like, oh no, I've pulled me back out, maybe. I don't know, you seem to have pulled, or you've pulled a new person, or you could have pulled something. You keep saying pulling. Pulling, pulling, pulling. Pulling my plonker. Maybe, I don't know. Or are you playing Kaplunk? Kaplunk. I don't know, I keep seeing like a horse or something, and someone being kicked off a horse and playing... no, what's Kaplunk? Kaplunk, I don't know. Something to do with marbles? I don't know, I keep saying Kaplunk. Uncle, my uncle or auntie, something to do with uncle or auntie, maybe. Very quickly, there is a video that is provided below. It saved me going over what a karmic hell loop is and what astrology and blocking and when you're free and when you're open and when everything comes back together and when it doesn't. The whole video of the karmic hell loop is all in one place. It's not public, it's just in case you want to watch it, and it is provided below, and it just says karmic hell loops video explained, tarot readings. Okay, so basically, here we go. So it's a lot. It's basically just a lot like a you versus them in a way, I suppose. Them, M, Emily, MR, Melissa, Maria, Matilda, M's, anybody beginning with M. Okay. But also you can watch this as a Aquarian, Leo, because you are an 8, but you also need to watch the other video that is provided below. This is a karmic hell loop, you see? I do this every single day. There's another video that is provided below that states around numerology, how you can watch it from an aspect of a number 8. Because you are a Leo and you are a number 8, you can also watch it as an Aquarian, okay? Sorry for everybody that gets so bored. I get bored of saying that every day also. But that's a karmic hell loop. So how does Leo's partner think and feel about Leo? How does Leo's partner think and feel about Leo from the 14th until the 21st of June? How does Leo's partner think and feel about Leo? So they feel that they're open here, but this person is also finding it very, they're kind of like behind the scenes of knowing that there's still a connection, that there is. It's kind of like the, of what I did about the karmic hell loops, which is like the nothing. Like, it doesn't seem to be nothing. They're kind of like they feel as if this has all been made out of nothing. Like, you made more of it than what it was worth. Like the argument persisted as a breakup, but they know that you're still there in the background, basically. So it's kind of like it's over, but it's starting to begin. Now, if you've got that energy where I picked up right at the beginning of like, you might have something new, right, because you might have pulled, that means that I'm looking maybe for another person and I may have pulled, right? So this is leaving you open to like, for a discussion of like, well, I've either found someone new or you found someone new, or to be quite honest with you, because we haven't spoke, we really don't really know, to be honest. Because this can be where you get back together. There's kind of like a chance energy of this, but it's kind of like, well, it's open for discussion. It's open season, basically, open season, which means that 4 seasons in one day. So 4, you could be dealing with a Scorpio. This could actually be a Scorpio, but it's more of a Libra energy. If your karmic hell loop is being very persistent of somebody that you know in your soul group hell loop of work, okay, and somebody at work that is like Libra energies that's very much within your soul group, you may really be struggling at this time of reconciliation, but also where you may not have spoke for quite some time. Okay, so it could be somebody that you meet along your journey that you bump into and you're like, oh, you're right, how you getting on, blah blah blah, can we talk about this, right? Can we talk about this? Sorry, that's just really distracted me. So yeah, can we talk about this? So it's kind of like open. It's pretty much impossible in order for me to feel, because right at the beginning I picked up like I am free and I am single and I am open, either one ready for a new person. So your partner might not know that you've moved on with another person because you may have met someone new here. Because I'm hearing that energy of like, I've pulled. Okay, I've pulled. So the name Pulley or Paul or Pauline or Pucci or Pisces, you could be dealing with a Pisces. Okay, but don't forget, again, sorry to keep going over this all the time, Leo, I'll do this as a general reading for one reading, individual readings through what's in their thoughts and feelings about you, what's in your thoughts and feelings about them, a separate reading for you and them, okay, so you here, them here, and then how that ends up working out of towards the end. Man, I get, you guys fed up when we keep saying that every time. Leo, so how does Leo's partner think and feel about Leo? How does Leo's partner think and feel about Leo? So, wow. So there's a hell of a lot of confusion still. I think this person's took it very personally, okay? They think and feel that there's a hell of a lot of gaslighting energy here because they feel vulnerable. This person feels as if they open up, okay, and they open up, like the conversation to you is just going to end up down the same garden path of being gaslit, okay? Which means that there's still a hell of a lot of confusion in the air, which might mean that we haven't spoke about it, but the more that we've persisted to do this and gone through this same cycle over and over and over again with Michael, Emily, Emma, Melissa, Maria, Michael, Mike, you know, all the M's energies, people's names, but again, it's kind of like this, you know, you could have gone off into your own private hell loop, Leo, as a general aspect of what you've got going on through this timeline, right? And you could have bumped into now a situation with a friend at work where there's a lot of kind of like shit going on in your life around your work, and you're kind of like, you know what, I'm individually, I'm not talking to my partner because of this energy that's been gaslit, but it's really Saturn and everything else that's been playing havoc on people's minds. And I do also, you know, need to state to everybody, everybody's so quick to say everybody's a narcissist. I'm not exempt from that. I get called a narcissist quite a lot as well. Okay, so, you know, don't worry about who is one, who isn't one. When we're on a spiritual journey, we go through control issues. It depends on what your person is like when you're dealing with them. Okay. But, you know, if your karmic hell loop has persisted now where you've broke up with your partner and you're not with them, but you know there's an open discussion, your partner is worried about what it is that may come of it if you get back together. Like, because your timeline is now open and free and single, right? And your partner is thinking, you know what, if I end up talking to you, will we end up going back through this same, being dragged through the hedge backwards? I did also hear that will I end up being dragged back to hell, which means a Capricorn, but as that's a 6, that's also like a Gemini energy as well, because it's a 6. But it might be, will I be dragged to court? Will I be dragged through this again? And do we have to go over this again? So there is fear on your partner's side because they know that if they end up discussing this, that is this same thing going to happen exactly again where it's gaslighting. You know, the trouble is why I said about karmic hell loops and what you had before around the 5 and the 7 and, you know, Sagittarius, you know, you had that before, right, in your last one. Where I was saying around like a 7, everybody's a 7, this is questioning one's reality. And I get this wherever I go in my own private hell, right? Because I am also a Leo. I'm not a Leo, but I'm Aquarian. In a general reading, okay, I'm Aquarius in Venus, but it doesn't matter. I would still come up in the Leo reading because it's an 8 from whatever aspect that is, okay? So what you've got here is like a Virgo-y energy and a Libra kind of Scorpio. But your partner is kind of like on that aspect of if you're dealing with a 7 of Cups, I get this all of the time where people question my reality. They say, "Are you okay?" And you're like, "Yeah, no, I'm all right." Like, "No, I'm just checking up just to see like if it was like if there's anything wrong." And you're like, "No, there's nothing wrong. No, I'm not sick. I'm not being sick or ill." And then I get a lot of times where people state that in texts or in emails or ask me all the time, "Steve, are you okay?" And you're like, "Yeah, why? Why am I not? Am I? Yeah? No, just checking on you like, bruv." And I said this in the last one. You end up now making me feel as if actually there is something fucking wrong. Like, but not with me, with you. You're questioning my reality. You're making me feel as if there is something wrong with me. There isn't. You know, it's because it can come from an actual person of gaslighting. That's why your partner is worried, sick around whether this is really going to happen again. Because, you know, a person when questions one's reality to say, you know, is everything all right with their relationship? You're not speaking, you're not saying anything. You know, I just need to make sure that, you know, you're okay. But the person isn't. That's what I'm saying. From here of a 5 energy, it goes at a person to question one's reality, right? Is everything okay with you? Yeah. I might be working. I might be busy. I might be not wanting to talk about it because I know your fucking pattern of behaviour. I know that you're so like of a person that will say, you know, come at someone and say, you know, are you okay? Is everything all right with the relationship? And then paranoia sets off. And it's like, well, you didn't speak, you didn't say anything. You know, well, no, I was there when I was there and we were together. I did ask you, but you didn't say anything. Okay, and you turned into the energy of like, well, why didn't you say something right from the start? You know, because an energy of Leo, and I've said this about some Leos, you can go like really quiet and inward, right? Really quiet and inward, are like worried and afraid. Definitely if you're like a Leo, Virgo, if you're a Leo, Virgo placements, or like an Aquarian, you know, Virgo-y placement, sometimes through fear, you can end up having so much in your head that you go quiet. When you go quiet, if you don't speak about that right away, right, and you hold on to that, and then later on you say, is everything all right? And you're like, yeah. And you're like, why didn't you say this fucking, like, why didn't you say this last year? Why didn't you tell me, like, when it happened? Why didn't you let me know that? And then you reach out to me via multimedia in a text or something like that, and you break up with me in a text. But you mentioned something via multimedia that really annoyed me. Or like, which can be like a text and something like that, and it's like, oh, I just need to text you, is everything okay? And you're like, yes, everything is fine. What, you know, and it's this confusion, and this is how your partner thinks and feels, that they are riddled with the energy of fucking confusion, that they know that if you end up speaking and you end up getting back together, that, you know, if you keep questioning someone's reality, they're going to question yours. And that's where the question's going to be of like, well, you're going to stand there like a Libra or like a Sagittarius, right? Of like, well, I can't figure you out, man. I can't work it out. First, 1 minute you were okay. Everything was all right. And then you glitched right out and you made things that were very minor of a two into a major incident where now, like, you made a drama out of a crisis. You made more out of it, of the fear and the anxiety and the worry. Because like I said, if this is like a Virgo-y Leo energy, because I will see this as a Leo Virgo. 1, it's 9, and then this also means courage and strength and things like that, and how to persevere and like make something of oneself after a breakup, right? So if this comes from one's ultimate reality of oneself, of like, say, a Leo Virgo energy, right? It can be where, okay, now I don't say anything, now I'm worried about like doing anything really, I can't. Like, and I can't. Well, you have to look at the general aspect, Leo, of life itself. When things build up in one's mind, if there are a lot of things that you know that you should do but you don't, and you're like, oh no, I can't do that. Oh no, I can't face that. I can't do those kind of things. That can be anything in life, anything, because it's the thought process. It's the thought process that starts off as one thing. Okay, there's something in my life I really know that I should do, but I really don't want to do that because I'm afraid of things. Because this can be phone phobic. Phone phobic. I'm worried about showing my face. I'm worried about what people might think. I'm worried about having to do something where I have to like confront fear. So if I'm fearful of anything in life, and I'm fearful of anything in life, because if this is how your partner's feeling and thinking, if these aspects are coming from yourself to make this person feel that way, if you look at yourselves, Leo, of any kind of advice that I'll just throw out there for you anyway, if you fear doing one thing in life, fear grows and adds on to that one thing. Okay, it's a seed. Okay, there's something in my life that I know that I daren't do. Okay, I will know I should, but I'm not going to do it. Okay, so I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to think about that constantly, and then there's another thing that adds up into my life I know I should really do. But I haven't done that, because what I'm telling the universe is what I'm casting out to cast below, which is that I can't face this, I can't do this, right? So when you have those small things in life that end up being very minor, they end up being a very major incident a lot later on in life. Like, well, it can be a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. This can even be where you broke up you get back together and you talk for like 2 days, and then you get back together and you have like a 2 day, like, oh, everything's great, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, bam, it's a breakup, and it's like, Jesus Christ, man, what is wrong now with you? Like, what is the matter now? Oh no, like, is everything okay? Like, yes, like, everything's fine. no, because I think that there's something wrong with you. And you're like, man, if you question my reality once more, it really isn't me. It really is you. You're really not. And it's like, okay, so I need to tell you these kind of things that I think that is probably wrong. You're making me now tell you what's wrong. Well, now I think you're a goddamn narcissist, because I've watched loads of things that tell me that if someone questions my reality, that you're a narcissist. Yeah, well, so you're a narc. Okay, well, I'm a narc then. Well, if I'm a narc, then you're a narc, right? And then it gets so goddamn confusing where your partner's thinking, well, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. How on earth is it the fact that I can now, like, trust you? Because the trust is broken. Because if this has happened repetitively, this is your individual private hell, right? Your individual private hell. Because, you know, soulmates and people, they go through control issues. But when you try to control things you know you should do that you don't, nobody really knows their head from their arsehole, right? So you're kind of like, man, I can't figure anything out at the moment. I don't know, like, I can't figure out, I can't think straight. I can't, like, cope. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm lost. I am, like, in purgatory. I'm a 9. I don't know the difference between what happiness and love really is. This seems to happen all of the time, me being in purgatory and left out and blamed and told I'm a narc. And then I meet people on my way that I always seem to have the same problem over and over and over again, where it feels like I'm physically in hell. That I think that my mum's a narcissist. I think that my brother's a narcissist. I think that my boyfriend's controlling and narcissistic. And then I get my life, and then it's kind of like, listen, Leo, can you do this? And you're like, yeah. But I don't really want to do that. But like, yeah, no, I'll do that. And you're like, okay, great. But your aspect of your head was like, you know what, I'm really not happy doing that. Like, I'm really not. But I don't want to say anything, but I'm really not that comfortable doing that. But I'll go on then, I'll do it for you. And you do all of these, but your mind is telling you no. But my body's telling me yeah, right? My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. So when you get these concepts of being very fucking confused, of like just very small minute seeds in your head, of like, you know what? I know that I've got to confront this. There is something wrong. I really need to do that for myself. When you're in partnership, those energies build up a fear, right? And you project that onto your other, where your person now really starting to see signs of gaslighting, right? They're starting to see signs of people really not being who they are, right? Which means, well, you said that before. You've said that before, and you've said it again. Normally, when the energy of questioning one's reality is like, man, we've gone over this so many times. Don't ask me if I'm okay, if I'm all right, when it is actually yourself. The energy comes from oneself of fear, and then it's projected onto another one. When you add dark and light into a mixture of like, man, I'm now making you confused because the energy's just not working out, and I'm now thinking that that really is you. If I'm going to question you and tell you, is everything okay, or like, well, you're a narc and blah, 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 the other person's going to react. So you're pushing one's buttons. So if your person said to you, or has said to you, look, we need a break, but you persisted to like, no, I need to know now, like I need to know, and you forced your way in to know, you probably got an answer that you didn't like, where your partner probably said to you, you know what, you're gaslighting me, you're a narcissist, blah, 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 you're a sociopath, you're a lunatic empath, you know, you've lost your goddamn mind, what on earth is wrong? Yeah, well, I know that a sociopath or a narcissist will ask me what's wrong. It's because you're forcing that question out of me. You've now forced my hand where I've probably told you that you're very controlling and narcissistic, right? So then everybody starts to throw out the controlling and narcissistic word because of one thing that started off where it probably shouldn't, but it did, and it consists to show you your same hell loop. So, sorry if I'm sweating, but it is very hot in the UK at the moment. So now, Leo, if your hell loop of this side ends up being, like, say we're going to look at a general aspect of like a Leo reading also, right? This goes off now into like, say if you've now gone to work here, and these are clients that are all coming at you, right? Or these are people at work that are all coming at you, as of your partner. The purpose of a hell loop is something that you can't run from. You can't escape it, you can't get rid of it. No matter what you do, what you think, whatever happens it is that you are who you are. And if you are guilty pleasure of like hating the person that you are, then what do you project onto the other? An energy of hating you, right? You have to not feel guilty for the person that you are. You have to love the person that you are, okay? You have to confront fear. If you know there's a problem, then solve it. Just like Vanilla Rice said. If there is a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Turn out the lights, Mike. Something like that. Turn out the lights, Mike. Right? Yo, drop a mic like a candle. Like moths to a flame, right, Leo? But, yeah, your partner thinks and feels that, well, they're still annoyed. They're still annoyed. Because they're like... they're like fearful that if they say yes, or they're fearful like if they reach out and you end up talking again, they're just basically, they feel as if you're just going to go through the same thing again, like you're going to go over the same thing again. Like if you reconcile and you get back together, you're basically just going to go back into the energy of 9, of being lost, you know, which means I can't win, because this is like winning, losing. I can't win, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. And you're probably feeling that yourself, right? You're probably feeling, you know what, I keep trying and I keep trying, but everything that I try fails. A string of failed attempts of trying and trying and trying, but the energy that persists to show you no, no, no. No, 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 no. There's no limits, right? It's like, well, there's no limit that I'm prepared to go to, right? But, you know, that energy can be around one's job. So for mine, for instance, it doesn't matter what you do or where you go, it's around my job. Because I'm a public speaker. I announce things publicly to the general public. That's my job. So that's your job to know whether you're prepared to listen to it or not, or what you watch or what you find out, you know. Because these can be people that watch certain things but don't like the aspect and think, well, I just need to know if my partner knows, if I thinks that I'm a narc still. Right? And then they get very angry, very pissed off and very annoyed that they may not know that the energy comes from oneself. Trust me, I'm there with you. I've been called a narcissist, right? You know, so don't worry about those energies. It's just that, you know, during times of war, you're going to start throwing a lot of blame at one another, and when you're blamed for that, the person's going to say, no, 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 I can't cope with all of this narcissism and all of this gaslighting. You know, that's why I did the Karmic Hell Loop video, which was explaining to you around the numerology, which is as like your life path number and their life path number added together, the experience of one and the experience of like your life path, their life path, but then the experience of what your life paths bring together as a number, right? So drama, mine has been a 3, right? 3. So what's that tell you? A school of fish, so it goes to a Pisces, 3. So not third party energies, but it goes to drama out of a crisis, drama school. A drama triangle, split up, break up, get back together, argue. Split up, break up, get back together, argue. Break up, split up, get back together, argue. Doesn't last long before I argue. You know, that works off well with the situation that I have going off with wherever I go. There seems to be argumentative people everywhere. Right? Literally everywhere do I run as a 7, do I bump into the same energy that shows me exactly the same lesson as what everybody does. Because a lesson is what you don't never, ever, ever get rid of. It's not like, you know what, I need to float around to another soulmate and to another soulmate. Everybody's a soulmate. Brothers, sisters, dogs, cats, they all have a soul. So they all show you the same energy of like love or loyalty or respect or disrespect. It's normally when someone doesn't speak, like a dog, that you think, oh, hello, Choo-Choo. Have a chewy. Go on then. You know, and they're like, well, at least you don't answer me back. That's man's best friend. You know, you don't answer me back. You just want feeding. That's it. Right? But when you get a human, they start using their vocabulary. When they do, that's normally really not seen in society that you're really supposed to speak. You speak when spoke to. Right? So who are you speaking to? Who do you think you are? We don't like because you publicly announce things. You talk about God and religion and you know. So, and I'm going to tell you that, and I don't even have one myself. You know. So you're going to get this everywhere you go in life. It doesn't matter who you experience it with. It's the general aspect so far, Leo. is that your experiences are controlling. Planet is controlling. People will go back to the aspect of like, you know what, I need to meditate and relax my aura and shift everything out of the way, when a planet might be a toxic one and says, you can open your chakra as long as you like, but if you want to open up to Saturn, we're going to like take a load of stuff from you. A lot of time, people, things, energy, restriction, feeling. Doesn't matter how much. A human is not blocked. It is, but it's blocked by a planet. You doing meditation is not going to unblock your planet, because you can't move a planet with meditation. Meditation is not going to say, hey, hold on a minute, let me listen to the frequency of 13.4 kilohertz, gigawatts or whatever, okay, and that's going to like unblock my chakra, but the meditation is not going to move that planet. It's not going to move the planet. It's going to open up you to the energy, right? So it's only in time that when planets move does it show you time, which is the everlasting, right? The everlasting love, right? So what does your partner think and feel? They're worried. They're worried because they're worried that they're being gaslit, right? They still think that they're being gaslit, that people come at them left, right and centre gaslighting them. They're probably fucking worn out and had enough of it, you know. They're probably like, fuck this noise, bruv. Do I get this from my mother? Do I get this from my father? Do I get this from at work? And now I'm getting it from you? You're just another person on a fucking long string of list where I've constantly been gaslit all the time by every motherfucker do I meet in life. Have I constantly been gaslit by people? And now you? That's the least I expected from you. Right? That could well be what your partner thinks. Right? But it is general. If you really want to dive deep, you'll need to have a personal one. Right? Because don't forget, these energies are still general. Let's see. I'm worried, I'm fearful of being alone. Me, I love it. Yeah, I'm a Pisces, number 7, man. I do like being alone, right? Not all the time, but I don't like being hassled. I don't like being hassled. You know, things in life are not supposed to be a hassle, they're supposed to be easy. And if you're making it harder for your person, then, you know, you probably have an aspect of making it harder for yourself, right? But, like I said here, Leo, how your partner thinks and feels, trust me, if this is your partner, they're probably had this left, right and centre in their own karmic hell. In their own private hell, Paul Weller, right? But in their own private hell, they have probably had more narcissistic partners and people and friends and lovers. And how can we be lovers if we can't be friends? And how can we be friends unless we're lesbians, right? But even then, y'all going to get narcissistic lesbians. Doesn't matter. People are people. Really doesn't matter whatsoever of what you are. To me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. You know, but this person has probably dealt with so much crap in their life that all they really need is to be gaslit one more time. Right? Lucifer Morningstar. Good morning, detective. I'm detecting that you're a lunatic. Right? I'm starting to think now that, man, y'all could really actually be somebody else that's gaslighting me. Right? But a Lucifer Morningstar is also a Leo, and possible like... it doesn't matter what Lucifer is, honestly, but like a Morningstar is the sun, and also like Leo, Aquarian Leo, right? But let me think. Sorry, sometimes when I pause, it's because I'm waiting for my soul and my head to come back to reality a little bit. Snap, there goes Rabbity, up, there goes Abby, Abigail, Abbott, Abs, M and M, Emily, Emma, Melissa, Maria, Matilda, all the M's, all the E's, all the Steves, Stephen, Sarah, Sassy's, Saucy, I'm hearing sauce, just put a bit of sauce on it. Salsa, Sal, Sally, Sally Ann, Nan, Ann, Sally Ann, Sal. Well, if it ain't one name, it's another. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Might even be your mum. Might even be your mum. Right, let's see. So, how does Leo's partner think and feel about Leo? How does Leo's partner think and feel about Leo? Oh, it's just got even more difficult now. This is where I'm going to have like loads of people watching and I'm going to have a go at everybody. And now, you see, you've got your own card in reverse. Your partner actually thinks that, I'm sorry, Leo, I've got to say it as it is, I shoot from the hip, bruv. A lot of them think that you're completely out of control here. I mean, like I said, when you look at anything where someone's like, oh, sociopath energies and blah, blah, blah. Sociopath can get like really violent, right? Now, like I said, don't, just because your card is here, there could be other people, like for me, for instance, that I know that have a Leo in a different placement. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, North Node, and it could even be of an astrology number that works out as their life path. But in their soul group, this person here, what they feel as if they have had a string of narcissism, gaslighting, and sociopath, and like people that have come at them constantly about an empath of like, oh, I've lost my fucking mind. Like, oh, what now? What now? Well, like, you know, as like sociopath energies can be someone that's extremely violent, but they can also be inwardly violent as well, which means that they may not show their violent side, but they have that as a nature, a violent nature, right? Which means that you will only know one's violent nature by the experience that you have had with a person. So if there's been any situations of like physical violence or punching people or punching things and getting very angry around things and getting very fucking wild, when put to the test, like when I said, okay, Leo, and I said a while ago, if you can get through this reading and not do these kind of things and not bombard your partner with like loads of questions and force them away from you. See, Leo, when they go inwardly, you might not know that you're actually pushing someone away with force. You want to know now. I want to know. You're everything else. I want to know where you've been, what you've done. I mean, if someone's cheating on you, then you got no one else to fault but to blame of yourself for being with a person that's going to treat you that bad, right? If they're cheating and lying and manipulating and stealing, well then fuck, why on earth would you be with a person like that in the first place, right? So why would you be with them, right? Obviously designed within a soulmate situation that you find it very difficult to get out of, right? So you must have had kids with the person. You must be married. A Pisces number 7 would say, never get married and never have children, right? Definitely never get married. Child, maybe, right? But do not ever get married, right? Never, ever, 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 ever mix business with pleasure, and never, ever, ever, ever get married. You don't need to get married. You don't need to get married in order to show love. Trust me, I've been in relationships where I've never even lived with a person and it's ended up being completely and utterly dynamic, right? So, you know, the energy that comes from what your partner is thinking and feeling truly is that you have a temper. You have a temper that you can't control, which means that when you're out of control, if they do not answer your desire, what do you desire? If they do not answer the call to what you desire, they do not bend over and pick up the soap. So they annoy you. So they put you to the test that draws out your anger. Because what is not said is said too much by a person. Because I didn't answer you immediately, you ended up getting fucking extremely wound up and extremely violent because your partner or spirit put you to the test. Which means that when an answer is asked, if it isn't answered by the other person, and one gets extremely violent and starts like, okay, now I'm going to churn out loads of crap that's wrong with you. You're not prepared to listen to me. I've now overdone it. I've now been put to the test. You have shown your true colours. Your partner has probably realised that through a slight amount of distance that you've ended up showing your true colours, which means that the aggression ended up coming out in the end. So your partner could be a very well, I don't know, could be a medium or something like that, and feels the energy is like, whoa, man, this is too much force for me. I'll put you to the test. We had a breakup, and you ended up telling me way too much that was wrong with me. Now I'm actually questioning, you know what, there probably really is something wrong with you here. You know, a test can be of, I didn't get the answer that I wanted, and because I didn't get that right here, right now, I ended up saying too much. Too much energy that you can't take back. Once you've said things, you can't take it back. And if a person asks for a break, and you're like, no, fuck that noise, bruv, I'm going straight in there and I don't give a shit, and I'm going to tell everybody exactly what I think, and I need to tell you, you probably said too much. You probably said too much, and now where you're probably like, well, that's too little too late, right? You're going to lose the best thing that ever happened to you, right? I said too much, too little too late to piss you off, and now you're pissed off. Now I'm going to give you an ultimatum of, like, well, you're just about to lose the best thing that ever happened to you, young man. Fine. Okay. Who wants to be able to cope with someone that's shouting and screaming at them? Did you like it when your father or your mother shouted and screaming at you as a child? You know? Did you like it when you go in work and your boss manipulates you into taking extra hours and shifts? And if you don't like those kind of energies, then why do you think that a human out of a non-married partner or even married partner would want to sit and listen to that? Would want to sit into that? Because you express a violent nature. And you can have anybody in your life where you go to it and you're like, oh man, that's very violent for me, man. I don't want to go there. I don't want to be involved with people that are like shouting and giving out such abuse. I don't want to be a part of that, right? I don't want to be a part of that group, clique, circle, cycle that are all manipulating one another, right? Well, I mean, if this isn't your partner of how they think and feel about you, this is generally how this partner, and it's not their fault, it's probably because they've been treated so crap and shit in life altogether that they have an aspect of anybody on this side of like, man, fuck it. I ain't dealing with all narcissism and confusion and gaslighting and empaths and lunatics in life. You know, everywhere do I go, do I bump into the same one? And if your aspect of love and life and the love for life is bored, frustrated and pissed off, the energy's coming from yourselves. You shouldn't be frustrated and pissed off, because if you are, you basically just manifest confusion into your life. Things not working out, right? So your partner truly thinks and feels that, well, that there is the stuff that you've told them, the stuff that you've probably told them, which is like, you're a nut, you're a lunatic, you're blah, 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 and then had a right go at them and had loads of things where you ended up saying too much to this person, like you spilled too much and you went and you took it too far. This person realises that you took it too far. They realise that all of the things that you said, they've took it very personally to the point where they're like, now, to be honest, with the person that you question to say, are you all right? Now I actually realise that you're probably not all right. You know, you're probably not all right. All right? I mean, if you are dealing with like a Cancerian or a 7, do not ever question their reality. Do not ever question their reality, because they will take that very personally. If they're a well-experienced number 7, they will take that very seriously, because that's a lesson within their soul group, which means that you'll get a 7 of Wands. They'll cut you off and cut you out. If you question their reality and make them feel as if they're accountable for being a human, ooh, no, don't ever do that. Well, that's a general aspect, Leo. Don't really ever do that with anybody, right? If you guys are out there, you know, like I said, this can be a person that's behind the scenes that hates on the channel that does this, you know. Not all you Leos, jeez, you know. It might not be your reading, but trust me, this would be, as a general aspect of myself, this would be a group and a circle of people, which means friends or a group of anything, that I would steer well clear of. Clear, whatever. But like, I would steer well clear of. Like, I would not be involved in this group here. Even if this is friends and stuff, I would not be involved in it. I would go the other way. Right? I would go the other way. Right? So if this is what your partner thinks and feels, y'all cannot blame this partner for thinking and feeling that. Right? Because you might even start thinking exactly the same thing through the aggression. Okay? So, how does Leo think and feel about their partner? How does Leo think and feel about their partner? What's going through Leo's mind and thoughts and feelings about their partner? You see? Toxic as shit. Capricorn, Gemini feeling in reverse, that this whole situation is toxic. Is like, man, y'all couldn't get any worse cards, Leo. I'm sorry, but like, you know, you really couldn't. This is like negative energy, like mixed, mingled, click versus click, click versus click, right? People versus people. People copying people. Right. A photocopier. Photo. What's that? Photo? Phono? E.T. phone home. Elliot. Steers. Anyway, well, you think and feel that your person is a raving lunatic nut as well. Right? But there's an energy of alluring, which means that I am trying to just wake myself up and come out of all of this control and narcissism where I feel as if, like, you're toxic. There's a narc that thinks that another is a narc. You know, your energy is just not mixed. It's matched that much that you've made it toxic. You've made it toxic. You've made the energy worse by obsession. You probably end up obsessing about the person that denies the energy of the devil, that says no to the devil. You know, if you look at anything that says no to a devil, you do not tell me no. I control you, right? You do what I say. You bend over and pick up the soap. You work for me, laddie, right? Fuck do I act? No, I don't. Right? So, you know, you might have this general aspect where it's coming through as your work. This is a taskmaster. This is someone that will put you to work, put you to a test, right? So it'll be money, right? People that do things for money. Do things for money. I definitely don't do things for fame, that's for sure. No. I do things for enjoyment. Things that make me feel, things that make me go, just like the song, Leo, right? But again, there's an energy here of where this is, no. This is probably like emotional manipulation. See, the devil doesn't like to lose. The devil doesn't like things being upside down in one's life. So if their life is turned upside down, right? If their work life is turned upside down, you've ruined my work, you've ruined my job, you have done nothing but ruin me. You've took my life, you've took my house, you've took my home, you've took my children, you've took my business, you've took my life, you've took the words right out of my mouth. Okay? So now I'm trying to take everything back from you now. I've got a vendetta against you now to take back what was taken. I took it the wrong way, I took it personally. I'm probably really fucking annoying myself by watching. Right? I'm probably annoying myself by the more you keep getting things your own way, the more I hate you even more. Right? The devil is a minion energy. As of say God, there are energies on earth that do not want to appear up as who they truly are in life of a mask. Right? It's always hidden beyond the shadows. So set off other people to put fear into the whole energy to cause hysteria, confusion, narcissism, gaslighting, you know, being put to the test, you know, being put to the test karmically here. A test of spirit and a test of strength and a test to know that somebody could have put you to the test to see what you would say here. to see what you would say. But there's also metaphysical stuff here. This is metaphysical spiritual warfare. This is pretty much why I'd made the video fucking hell last year, I think it was. But it was called the spiritual psychic warfare of people having arguments over tarot readers and stuff like that. Don't ever mix business with pleasure. I said it right from the beginning. Never mix business with pleasure. Okay, keep your own calling and your own things to yourself. Okay, you don't want to work for or feel as if you work for someone or that you have to do something for somebody. Okay, you do whatever it is that you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. If you feel uncomfortable, but you're doing that as respect for the energy of not respecting you, then you've got this energy of disrespect. So you've got someone here that feels and thinks that they've been disrespected, and they may not like the fact that they've been disrespected, and that's why you've got this energy here. You publicly humiliated me. But this is what I've said. If you're exes of people, do not watch their channels. I've run up so many times with this, with my life, when I have to fight through the energy of giving the truth over in readings. This is why I can't work with people, know anything about it, or want to know anything about it, and why all of my relationships or connections fail because of my job. Because I have to have a calling. My calling is most important to me because it's my job. And I have to be truthful and honest to everybody. That gets confusing when you get energies that watch that think, okay, you shouldn't have said all of that because you're a medium and you're a fucking, an esoteric channeled spirit message. You shouldn't be saying those things that I don't like because I'm spying and watching, and I found out things that I don't like. I don't like how you speak, what you do, what you say, blah, blah, blah. But I am physically sitting in the background, physically watching it to see what you say. But it's narcissism. It's confusion. Somebody could have done all of that behind the scenes and set all that off in motion to see how the person would react to their energy. So they overreacted. But it's narcissism. It's gaslighting, here. So for ages, Pisces had this in their actual May monthly, and then it carried on from month to month, and it was around their channel, it was around their YouTube channel, and a lot of people said, Alchemy and you had this a lot around her channel also, right? Around their channel, people copying their taglines or their numbers or their whatever, and like copying things, right? You had that, Leo had that, and Aquarian or whatever had that for ages. Is copying other people's ideas or copying other people's stuff and trying, y'all can get in trouble for that, right? I'm going to go too far into it, but y'all can get in trouble for that. But yeah, is copying, right? Is someone that gets so annoyed with energies of other people having larger subscription rates or view rates than others, that behind the scenes they get very angry when things don't work out, because they probably do it for popularity of fame, because they like to be seen. Okay, because this is, I like to be seen but not heard. I don't like to be seen in public that I'm humiliated, so I don't want to humiliate people, but I'm actually physically not saying that. I'm just like, don't want to be humiliated and blah blah blah, right? Because I'm not showing myself up. I don't want to show myself up. I'll just get everybody else to do that for me, so I don't actually physically have to show myself up. I can just get all my other little people to do that for me, that ends up causing all of this. Told you guys a long time ago this was all going to happen, and it did. I'm a medium. I'm a psychic medium. I'm not people's friends. I'm sorry, but I am not people's friends. I have a calling. I have a job. And if it interferes with my energy here, and it ends up being controlling and narcissistic, then I can't help the way that I channel. Because if it's gone out into the energy of like so above, so below, if someone's putting that out of an intent against me or anything, it's going to interfere with my job. And I don't bend over to pick up the soap for anybody in life, right? So when that energy comes towards me out here, I'll pick all that up. Radio signals, God knows, energy that's coming at me towards hate, feelings, nostalgia, knowing, just the knowing, okay? So I feel everybody on YouTube land, more than likely, is fucking confused to shit, right? Sorry, not everybody, but like no, never ever mix business with pleasure. If it's music and things like that, then great, yeah. But like, you know, people that are like saying, oh, let's get everybody else like for like esoteric stuff, spiritual, tarot card readers and stuff, and tarot card readings. It's not a great idea. It's really not a great idea, right? It really isn't. Okay, but you know, the Leos, y'all had that for a long time. Somebody that keeps trying to copy things. Like, okay, I'm going to do something, and then I'm going to copy what someone else is doing, and I'm, you know, but that's seen in loads of different things. Like me, for instance, I tried the Karmic hell loop, blah blah blah, but it said, okay, like, you know, that is like well known up, but nobody's going to be searching for that. Nobody's going to be searching for Karmic hell loop, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. So I'm just sticking to the generic. This is the weekly name, weekly 14th till the 21st, blah blah blah. Right here. I don't know what this is about, copying someone else's stuff to try and get it for oneself here. Here. Because somebody can have an idea. You see, YouTube used to say that was okay, but now they actually say it isn't. It's like a YouTube channel can have an idea, for instance, right? They have an idea, and they make that thing themselves. Like, they make it themselves, and they make that idea into something themselves. Other people in the background think, oh, I need to copy exactly what you do so I can get all of your traffic over to mine here. So I'm going to copy the taglines and everything from another channel to get all of that focus onto me, because I'm trying to intervene in your traffic. So you can have someone in their head of like, oh, okay, how can I beat the competition? I need to get in with this because I love everything. So because I want it, I need to get in with the traffic. So I need to work around like taking it from all of your traffic over to my traffic, right? Which is why this is not a good idea. Well, definitely not in this fucking reading. Definitely not here. Because y'all guys have had this very confusing channeled message just lately around your business and your work. And the better the devil you know is who you physically live with, not what you don't know. That's just illusion. That's karmic illusion, narcissism, control, and being brainwashed, right? So metaphysical. I don't know, right here. This is where I'm going to start getting the blame for the energy that's put out of me just physically speaking out my mouth and not out my asshole. Okay. So, like I said, y'all guys are going to get this all over the place. Okay. So why on earth did that just go off into that thing? Okay, Stephen King. Why did you just go to? Oh. Anyway, sorry, I can channel my own future. If you didn't know, Leo. So, how do you think and feel about this person? Well, they think that you're controlling, gaslighting, and all of the stuff that we went through. Worried, you know, thinks that this is a really bad situation. This might even be something that is public, like the gym or something, or like that you go to in life, right? So these can be people on your friends, lovers, mothers, situations. It really doesn't matter. This person is sick to death of people showing violent nature. So they're secluded. They're out. They're like, fuck it, bruv. My mind has been that fucking tortured that I am numb from the feeling of anybody in life controlling me. I am so sick to death of it. It's unreal. That's how this person feels, okay? How you feel is more likely the same. You feel that this situation of the energy around you is starting to feel very like, like I either feel sick or like, I don't know. Because it can be, how do I now cope without addiction? Because it can be detoxing, right? Diane, Danielle, D's nuts, any D that you want, right? Here, DDTs, right? But like detoxing, right? So when you detox, and you detox, you're coming off something, right? So here, the energy that is felt toxically here is of like I said, it's like detoxing. It's like when you're like, oh God, I mean, this person could even be coming off drugs or something, right? Because that's like, you know, through being there, when you come off a large substance in life, your skin crawls, Like, you're like, oh my God, like I'm sick and like everything. So through the non-attachment of this energy, if this isn't anything to do with like drugs and alcohol or anything like that, it's this energy that just feels rotten. It feels like, it just feels wrong, like my skin's crawling energy, right here. Because it feels as if something's going to happen, and like it's going to happen. So how does Leo think and feel about their partner? Queen of Swords, man, there is some, y'all got shitloads going on. I mean, like I said, you've got the energies of Leo, Capricorn, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Virgo energies, Libra, Scorpio, or whatever. But don't forget, you can also possibly watch this as an Aquarian flavour as well, right here. But the Queen of Swords, this is demanding to want to know again. It's blocked but open. Blocked but still want to know. There's someone in the background here, like, it's pissing me off that much, but I still want to know. Like, I still want to know. Like, don't come at me with all that, but I still want to know. It's getting violent. This whole thing here is getting violent. How you think and feel that there are questions that have not been answered. Like, you've still got, like, this is, no, I'm not finished yet. I am not finished yet. You're really annoying me now. Like, I am not finished yet. I want to know even more. Your karmic hell loop could end up being around your in-laws, your outlaws, and your mum now here. And your mum now here. This person here just feels as if, fuck it, bruv. I don't want anything to do with anybody. Like, everybody is a raving lunatic. This energy is kind of now coming across where it's kind of like, because this can be like, I just want to be left alone here. This energy can be like, no, I'm not finished yet. I'm not finished with you yet. So this can be where this breaks off into like your family, like your mum energy here. This could even be a situation that you've got going on with your mother. It doesn't have to be your lover. This can be an aspect of where this is here, and this is you, because your cards are here, and you look over this energy and you think, shit, man, that's my brother, that's my mother, that's fucking Rod, Jane, Zippy and Bungle, right? I'm looking from this aspect over this aspect and thinking, holy shit, Steve, no matter where do I run and where do I bump into, does everybody end up being controlling and narcissistic? You know, I walk through another door and now I've gone to work that my boss is now goddamn having a go at me and I can't get away from my boss. You know, I end up doing all of the favours for this energy here that doesn't give me a favour back in return. Because this is, I want a return on my investment. I want money, I want paying, I want bills. Like, what are you paying me? Nothing. It's like, well, I want my money. Where's my money? Where's my money? Oh, really? Is that person still doing that on that channel? I don't know. I floated by some channel once. Drew was shouting and screaming that YouTube hadn't paid her $15,000. But like, where's my money? But I'm not the person I love, man. She's brilliant. What's her name? Come into house. Right? Not her. Someone that was copying her voice and saying, I want my money. And everything is like, oh man, you're just copying someone else's stuff, right? But like, you know, I love her. What's her name? Lulu? That was Lulu. Man, Lulu's been coming up in my actual readings for a while. Lulu. Lulu, come to Harry. But like, this could be Prince Harry. See, Capricorn, Prince Philip, when he died, he was a Gemini. But in my readings, when I predicted his death, he was at 6. So it did come up in the Capricorn reading, but like I said, before I figured out the numerology of why all of these cards come up in general readings, it's because Prince Philip was a Gemini, but he was classed as a 6. So this is the Queen, and the Prince Philip, and the loss, and like the loss of investment. And what do we do now without Prince Philip here? Right? What do we do? How do we cope? What do we do with all of the goddamn media? What do we do with all the media? Okay? What do we do with all the people that keep coming and wanting and demanding, and we can't show ourselves up in the media? You said something on multimedia that really annoyed me. Don't watch. Don't watch. Don't wind yourself up. Because I'm just going to give the truth. I have to. It's my calling. I have to give the energy of the cards. If someone can't listen and hear that, and they don't like that about themselves, it's someone here that could well be doing that. Okay? There's this energy of cutting people off and out at the knees here. My niece, my nephew. So, Leo, how does Leo think and feel about this side? Yeah, the Tower. You feel like this is a match made in hell, really? A match made in hell. It's kind of like, this Tower's like, fuck it, bruv, it's just like, just set fire to the lot of it, like, bollocks. Do you know what I mean? Like, it really does. It feels like, oh man, but no, that's a fire. I mean, is this a cookout that you've had with the family? And like, Jesus Christ, man, everybody's turned up to this barbecue and they're all raving lunatics, right? Let's put everything on the smoker. Let's put it on the smoke and let's chuff a pipe. But yeah, you still feel as if, I don't know, man, like it's toxic as shit. You feel like it's because you could still really feel very angry this side here. Very angry. No, I don't want to know that, man. I'm going to avoid it. I don't want to know. I can't listen to all of that crap. I'm not going to prepare to listen. I don't want to know. I'm avoiding that energy that's actually now avoiding me. Y'all start getting very violent on this side, man. Y'all got a violent natured person on your hands here. Because now this person, if this is flips, right, and this is you, right, because your card is here, if this flips, this person does not want this person or this energy in their energy. No, I'm saying no to the devil. I do not want toxicity and bollocks and shit in my life whatsoever, right? And then you come to the energy of 7, which means it's a dynamic duo, right? I don't want all of this drama, crap in my life. I don't want it. I don't want to be involved in it. That is also like a general message. Who does want this, right? Anybody out there that's a raving lunatic, wave your hand if you want this kind of energy around you, right? That's why this person is also saying, no, I do not want this energy around me. Y'all don't trust each other. You don't trust each other. Well, so far, okay, so we're going to leave that at that. That's an hour and 10 minutes, man. I've got another readings to do. Leo, that's your reading so far, guys. If you want to support me as a channel, this is where I'm going to clarify loads of cards and give you your weekly reading of the 14th and 20th, 21st, and see the progression of one's mind and where these patterns are going to take you in life with other people if it doesn't end up being the same one, where it's going to take you on your path, right? The doors that you're going to open through this is more than likely fucking Pandora's box, right? Energy of karma you can't run from. And then we're going to look at the outcome that is created by the weekly reading itself. Okay? And the energies that match up with like how astrology might move and start making someone like, oh, I'm all airy and fluffy now. I've forgiven you for being a narc. Right? So, you know, whatever, each flavour of whatever it is, but we'll have to see how it's clarified and progressed on with the reading, and then you'll get your what's the outcome? What is the outcome to this drama triangle? Okay, and then your next one, whatever that appears up with a new person, a lover, a mother, a father, another. You say, oh fuck him, I'm had enough. I'm going to go off and meet someone else. Can't avoid that one. That's what you always bump into. Personal growth. So anyway, so that's your reading. Thanks very much. If you want to join, you can. The link is provided below. Again, if you're mixed up and you don't know, you can watch all the videos that are all linked as like watch this one and astrology video, the numerology video. It's all in one. The karmic hell loop videos. They're all linked and tagged into watching the hell loop tarot reading, and then it just links you on to other things. But there are so many teaching and learning stuff on the channel itself of playlists that, you know, if you're part of Patron, it's the full access bundle. It's all bundled into one, a bit like McDonald's, or if you're at a doctor's and you'll get shoved into there. It's a bit like that really, Leo. But you can have loads of stuff. It's all bundled into there. We change things up and do different readings at different times. This lot of readings is the personal karmic hell loop readings But if you want it, it's on the full access button. You can find the link below. Thanks very much. I'll see you soon.